Joining me now, former spokesperson for President George W. Bush, Republican strategist Mercedes Schlapp. Also with me, Republican campaign strategist Tony Sayegh, both Fox News contributors. Mercedes, I know you were on the call this morning, you and Matt both. I want to start, if I may, this is a little peculiar, but I'd like to just show you what your husband and our audience, what he had written as chairman of the AC, the American Conservative Union. He said this: Hillary Clinton tells us she likes to go high, but she and her campaign are as low as a snake's belly. If Mrs. Clinton does not fire these advisors immediately, who had expressed their disdain for evangelicals and conservative Catholics, she will have no moral authority on the issue of prejudice in our society. I just want to compliment Matt for using a little of the language with which I'm comfortable, a little Texas talk like that. But, you know, that snake's belly, when you can work that in, Mercedes, you're doing good. We're not doing good, though, in terms of holding her accountable. And Donald Trump, while pointing out the religious bigotry, I mean, the campaign is basically hunkering down.
It's amazing to me. When I read these WikiLeaks emails, I was personally offended as a conservative Catholic that they would call my beliefs backwards and talk about the bastardization of our faith. And then on top of that is the fact that you have the Catholic for an Alliance for the Common Good, a Soros-funded group, that their goal is to go into the Catholic Church and undermine the Church and its teachings and try to steer Catholics away from their faith.
Create a revolution in the Catholic Church.
The revolution, the Catholic Spring.
George Soros. I mean, what in the world? Is there anything he isn't trying to tear to pieces?
And the fact is that you have Hillary Clinton standing up there, Lou, saying we're stronger together. I'm so tolerant of all Americans. And what all I'm hearing, all I'm reading is that when it's off the camera and her main staff, I mean her comms director and high-power individuals are pushing this leftist agenda that if Catholics and Christians do not wake up, they are going to dominate and tell us what we can do in our Catholic and Christian schools. And believe it or not, when there is that Supreme Court liberal pick, I don't want to hear it from conservatives or from Catholics or Christians that didn't vote for Donald Trump, that then we really can't do anything about it. Our hands are tied because we have these liberal justices on the court.
Mercedes is right. It's a clarion call for Catholics all over this country, having seen these exposed emails that show the disdain, Lou, that the liberal left, the elites, the academics, the political class has for organized religion, but particularly those that have deep held beliefs and faith like conservative Catholics and evangelicals. And if, you know, Hillary Clinton was just invited to the Al Smith dinner. It's the most important Catholic dinner in the country. If she does not fire Jen Palmieri or at least make some sort of shakeup for those involved with these correspondences, I think they should rescind that invitation.
Good Lord, both of you. I mean, let's come to reality here. You know, Debbie Wasserman Schultz was fired from the DNC because she was in collusion and defrauded a candidate for president by the name of Senator Bernie Sanders and betrayed all of his followers. And I mean, and what happened? She was fired, and what campaign does she chair now? What campaign does she chair now? She's chairing the campaign for Hillary, for crying out loud.
You know what, Lou, what really upsets me is the fact that the Democrats stick together. Bernie Sanders, I mean, has been betrayed by the Hillary campaign, and yet he goes out there and speaks her language. Republicans, we eat each other alive. We don't stand by our candidate.
Do you know why? You guys have a fiction that you preserve, you carry around, that some of you are conservatives. The fact of the matter is there's a small group of conservatives, real conservatives in this GOP. And the rest are like Paul Ryan. I mean, he wants to be a Democrat, but he doesn't have the guts. You know, and you guys put up with people like Paul Ryan. You put up with Mitch McConnell. You don't, and if you guys don't start expressing some concern about the supporters, your supporters, the voters who support Donald Trump. I mean, you guys have turned, your party has turned on the nominee. The millions of people have supported him. And what we're watching is an orgy of just immense proportions that is celebrating the death of any kind of democratic process in the Republican Party. In point of fact, in the nation, because you have reduced this two-party system to one. The Republicans, Tony, are a bunch of chumps, it seems to me.
Lou, look, for the most part, yes, there are high-level defections. Paul Ryan being as outspoken this past weekend was not helpful, particularly because Donald Trump did have such a strong debate performance. But you see some of that coming back. Senator Fisher from Nebraska, who over the weekend withdrew her endorsement of Trump, now is endorsing him again. Senator Thune from South Dakota, one of the leaders in the Senate, is now back supporting Donald Trump.
You got John McCain, for crying out loud, who asked Donald Trump for his endorsement. He gives it. And at the first sound of gunfire, McCain publicly...
But it doesn't matter, Lou, because the people...
These are not principled people.
The people, the populist movement started by Donald Trump, if you're to believe it's true, and I happen to, I know you do as well, that is what is going to get Donald Trump elected president, not endorsements from people inside the Beltway.
I know, but you need the unity of the party to really be able to help propel Donald Trump. And I find that the fact is that these conversations between the Republican leadership and Donald Trump should have been held in private. They should have
I'm told, Mercedes, I've got to just ask you to wrap up because we've got to go. We're way over.
Well, no, all I'm saying is that it's unfortunate. I'm very disappointed in the GOP not rallying around Donald Trump.
The real question is, what are you all going to do about it, Mercedes?
Lou, you're making me depressed. You're making me depressed with your commentary.
You shouldn't be depressed by truth, because the reality is that the supporters and the voters watching and listening to you guys tonight are the ones that are going to decide who is president. If they don't have enough stuff to step up despite all the madness of the silly party that is, on the...
Well, I'm not going to give up on the Republicans.
How much?
28 days for the RNC to do the right thing.
You guys got work to do. Mercedes, thanks for being with us. Tony, thank you so much.
Take care.